And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Tuesday, July 18th edition. Hope you guys had a good Monday. 10-game fun slate. Some of the stacks absolutely crushed. Pitching we were pretty good with. Luzardo could have been better, but our cheapies did just fine. So it was a fun day. Pavetta, 13 strikeouts. 13 strikeouts. Oakland Athletics booty. So that was fun to see as well. You can find me on Twitter at BDentrek, BDENTREK. All my podcasts, all my written content, you get something pretty much every day from me. So at least one thing a day, if not more. So come check all that out over there on Twitter at BDentrek. We got 14 games on Tuesday. 14 big games. So let's not mess around. Let's get right at it. Your totals on the slate. Dodgers, Orioles, 9. Guardians, Pirates, 8.5. Padres, Jays, 9. White Sox, Mets, 9. Giants, Reds, Great American Small Park, 11. D-backs, Braves, 10. That's just in Atlanta, folks. Rays, Rangers, 8.5. Waiting on the weather in Chicago. Tigers, Royals, 8.5. Yankees, Angels, 9. Twins, Mariners, 7.5. We don't even have a total for Coors yet. It's going to be an absolute bomb fest on Tuesday. We have a couple pitchers to target here, so let's get right at them. Like Nate Eovaldi, 10-3. It's a great GPP play. I don't really want to pick on Tampa Bay, so I'm going to pass. But if you want to pay up, knock yourself off. Like if you're gonna target Tampa Bay with Eovaldi with speed issues, I'd rather save $700. Could go Joe Musgrove at 96 at Toronto. At least Musgrove, we've seen the consistency out of him at 6 or more innings in 6 straight starts, 3 runs or less in all those starts. He has 6 or more Ks in 4 straight starts. Been very, very effective. Now, it is a Jays team that can be pesky. They're getting better. Still not as elite as we once thought they would be. Striking out over 22% of the time versus righties over the last month at 252 with a 163 ISO. So Musgrove's in play. Still not my favorite pay-up spot, but he's definitely in play. I'd rather Musgrove over Eovaldi. But over both those guys in the 9K and above range, give me Lucas Giolito. $9,300 at the New York Mets. Giolito, 6 or more innings in 4 straight starts, 2 runs or less than 3 or 4. He has 28 Ks over the last 4 starts. Been pretty good. And you're going up against a struggling Mets team. A Mets team that over the last month, 21.5% K rate versus righties, 250 average, 189 ISO. Those numbers are better than they've actually been. They've been a struggling team. So Giolito at 93 is in play if you're paying up. One of my favorite arms of the entire slate is Joe Montgomery, or Jordan Montgomery, Jomo, at $8,200 at home against the Miami Marlins. Jomo, 4 1/3, 1 earned, 5 Ks in his last outing, kind of got derailed due to weather in that one. Prior to that, though, 6 or more innings in 5 straight starts, 3 runs or less in all of them, 6 or more Ks in all of them. He's been a quality start machine right now, and you get to face a Miami Marlins team, which is good. Don't get me wrong. They're playing actually much better than I think people give them credit for. They're in the wild card race in the National League. They're still a Marlins team, and this is the crazy part. You look at their last month versus lefties, K rate of 14.8%, 378 average, 0.098 ISO, so not a lot of power, but they're hitting lefties very, very well. So keep that in mind, but I'll take my chances with Jomo at home, $8,200. Yeah, I'll take my chances there with Montgomery at that price point. Cheaper option, Brian Wu returns $7,900 at home against the Minnesota Twins. We know they're going to baby Wu, but the fact he's starting, I think you're going to get another 5 innings, hopefully 2 runs or less, and hopefully the strikeouts are pumping as we're used to Wu. He's priced accordingly. If he's priced like the high 8s, low 9s, be a little different conversation. We're talking $7,900 on a slate where pitching is dreadful against a Minnesota team striking out nearly 28% of the time versus right-handed pitching over the last month, hitting 252 with a 184 ISO. Brandon Wu at $7,900 will be in play on Tuesday. Now it gets murky. Like Logan Allen, I love to pitch. Even in the minors when he got sent down, he still has the efficiency issues that really, really derailed him. Alek Manoah, $7,100. He returned to the bigs, 6 innings, 1 earned, 8 Ks, 0 walks. Looked like a brand new man against the Detroit Tigers. Now, yes, before you say it, it's the Detroit Tigers. 100% on board with that. Manoah's $7,100. Facing the Padres team, striking out 19% of the time, 252 average, 180 ISO. So if you feel like gambling and getting more bats, I think Alek Manoah is a play at 71 that I'm very, very, very intrigued with on this slate. After that, you got Jameson Taillon at $6,800. Made some good strides in his last outing, 8 shutout innings with 4 Ks against the Yankees. He had 6 or more Ks in back-to-back starts prior to that. He has not been great this year. There's no sugarcoating that, and Washington's been pesky. But Taillon at 68, at least in the conversation. The punt I love is Cookie. Carlos Carrasco, $6,200 at home against the Chicago White Sox. Cookie went 8 shutout with 4 Ks in his last outing. He's gone up 2 runs or less in 3 straight, 4 out of his last 5. Strikeouts, he's got you 4 more Ks in 4 straight. He's not lighting the world on fire, but he's $6,200. That's totally fine. Facing a White Sox team, 25% carry versus righties, 241 average, 157 ISO. Cookie, he's cut to make this start at $6,200. So I like him as a punt option. So pitching on the slate is ugly. Like if you want to give all these, sure, but I'd rather go Musgrove at 96, Giolito at 93. Those would be my main pay up spots. If I knew Scuba was stretched out more at 84, that would be one. So maybe we'll get some news on Tuesday. He got up to like 66 pitches in his last outing. If we can give me even 80, 85, I'd be pumped. They're going to take it really slow with Scuba though, but he's 84 on this slate. Jomo at 82, I like a lot. Brian Wu at 79, I'm a big fan of. And then it's Manoah at 71 and Cookie Carrasco at 62. So, yeah, it's ugly when it comes to pitching on this slate. With just how ugly pitching is, it means we're going to have tons and tons of hitting options to go through. So let's do it here. Catcher's position, Sean Murphy against Zach Davies. Atlanta, obviously, you saw the high total. Great stack as usual. Murphy's $5,500. Phenomenal play. Adley Rutschman went deep on Monday. I love Baltimore again because Michael Grove is not very good. Just like I said, Sheehan wasn't. Grove isn't either. Rutschman at 52 in play for you. If Travis D'Arnaud gets to start for Atlanta, he's $4,600. He would be in play as well. Going down cheaper though, you got Yandy Diaz and Coors at $4,400. Or no, Yainar Diaz, my boy, at $4,400. And Coors, he is in play for you for sure. Going down even cheaper now, below 4K, you got Patrick Bailey, who had an offer on Monday. Go right back to attacking Luke Weaver. Bailey at $3,800. The Giants are in play yet again. I love targeting Weaver on this slate. Hopefully people get annoyed by how little they did against Lefty Williamson. The Giants have a very good left-handed hitting lineup, like the lefties hitting right-handed pitching lineup. So Bailey at $3,800. I'll tap into that one. Going down even cheaper for you here. If you're going to fade Alek Manoah, Gary Sanchez is $3,700. I'm not going to tell you not to, but that would be something I'd rather have Bailey at 38, honestly. But it is in play. Going down 3K and below, it's a pay-up spot for the most part here. Edward Cabrera is supposed to make his return for the Fish. We'll have to keep an eye on that situation on Tuesday. Bo Naylor's $2,600 for Mitch Keller. Keller has missed a ton of time because his velocity's been down. We never got a true story of why he missed so much time. We're guessing it was just kind of let him rest a bit. We'll see, but Bo Naylor would be a nice cheapie behind the dish as well. First base, you got Shohei Ohtani with a big game-tying 2-run homer on Monday night. He's $6,400 versus Domingo Germán. I love targeting Domingo Germán. We know this. Matt Olson at 6K, obviously, against Davies. I got Freeman versus Tyler Wells at 58. I like Tyler Wells a lot. We've used him a lot. I'm not targeting the Dodgers, so that makes that one difficult. So Freddie Freeman at 58 is there for you. Christian Walker, if you want to target Bryce Elder, I have zero problem with that at all. He's time's running out sooner than later. We saw a little bit of hitting around towards the end of the first half. We'll see. But Christian Walker at 52 is another one to look at. Going down below 5K now, you got Joey Votto versus Anthony DeSclafani. Disco's coming off the IL for arm fatigue issues. Disco sucks this year. Votto at $4,600 is definitely in play. Going down to the low 4Ks and into the threes, you got CJ Cronin Coors at 4K. It is Hunter Brown, who I respect, but it is Coors Field. It's pick your poison. Like Josh Naylor, he had another monster game on Monday. He's $3,900 versus Keller. Cleveland stack came through in a big way on Monday night. I loved that. Did wonders for my lineups. So Lamont Wade Jr. at 38. I like Naylor more at 39, but both are options for you. Going down to the low threes now, like Joey Meneses is 33 versus Tyon. Prefer him versus a lefty, but if you're stacking Washington versus Tyon, you need some Joey in your life. Below 3K now, or still at 3K. Josh Bell's 3K. Garrett Cooper's 3K. If you are targeting Montgomery, Cooper's at 3K is a great value. I'm not targeting Montgomery, but I get it. Based on the stats I gave you, they don't strike out. Hit for a high average, just no power. So keep all that on your radar. Now we go below 3K. You got Tyler Soderstrom of Oakland at $2,700. If you need to punt, I don't think you need to go there. I'd rather have Tristan Casas at $2,500 versus Medina. Medina's been very good. Don't get me wrong. This Boston team is swinging it and swinging it well. Michael Ford's down here at 24 as well. And then Alex Kirilloff, if you're fading Brian Wu, is $2,300. And then I'll mention it again, first base, third base eligible for the Angels. He hit at least a double, if not more, on Monday night. Trey Cabbage, $2,200 versus Domingo Germán. Mentioned him on yesterday's show at 2K. He's definitely viable at $2,200 on Tuesday's slate. Second base, you got Mookie Betts at 62. We know the drill there. Ozzie Albies at 57 is an outstanding price point. If you want to be contrarian, you could tell Marte at 54 against Elder. Definitely splits the bill. Jonathan India at 5K, stack against Disco. We know this for sure. Going down to the mid fours, Hyesung Kim at $4,200 versus Manoa. If you're fading there, that's where you want to be. Below 4K, our boy Andres Jimenez got a pay decrease. He's down to $3,900 versus Mitch Keller. Jimenez had another monster game on Monday, so we can keep going back to that gift of a price tag we've been talking about each and every day on this show. Low 3Ks now, and we'll eventually head into the twos here. Jordan Westberg of Baltimore, second base, third base eligible. He's been playing every other day, it feels like, so he should be starting on Tuesday. He's $3,200 versus Michael Grove. Edward Julian at 31 versus Brian Wu. If you want to be contrarian, Zach Geloff's down here at $2,900. He's been leading off for Oakland, playing very well since his call-up. We've talked about him a few times. As well, Peraza led off on Monday night for the Yankees. He's $2,800 versus Patrick Sandoval. So that's a nice piece of discount as well. You got a few other guys like Casey Schmitz down here at $2,500 if you want to go full punt with the position. But there's quite a bit of value, especially on a 14-game slate. There'll be a ton of value. Third base, got Ellie De La Cruz at 65. Great play versus Disco. But J-Ram, stopping for this for Cleveland Guardian, with a big game. J-Ram at $5,700 is there for you. Machado at 51. He's having a big month of July. He's got like 8 home runs in July. So keep an eye on him. You got Bregman and Coors at 49. That is just fine. Gunnar Henderson, though, I keep loving him. His price tag does not change. He's third base shortstop. He leads off for Baltimore. Great matchup versus Grove. He's $4,700. He had an RBI triple, got you 10 points. It could have been more from Henderson. 10 double digits seems like a floor for Gunnar. So $4,700. I'm on board there. You got Ryan McMahon versus Hunter Brown and Coors at 44. I'd rather have Henderson at 47 personally, but those are options for you. Down to the low threes and into the twos now. You got Heimer Candelario went deep on Monday, $3,400 versus Tyon. So he's there. Westberg at 32, mentioned him already. Wilmer Flores at 31. He went deep on Monday night. We'll see if he's in the lineup with the righty on the mound. But he's first base, third base at 3,100. Chris Taylor hit a grand slam on Monday. He's third base outfield at $2,900 versus Tyler Wells. Taylor came off the IL recently. Maybe he's a brand new man after finally taking a breather and trying to figure things out. There's our boy Trey Cabbage at $2,200 as well. So we like that quite a bit. Shortstop for you, Corey Seager at 63 versus Taj Bradley. I love Taj Bradley, but Seager's on another wavelength right now. Same with Wander Franco at 59. Both solid plays. But you can save some money here, like Bogarts versus Manoa, Lindor versus Giolito, or just go play Gunnar Henderson at $4,700. Like, that's simple. Like, don't pay up, pay Gunnar Henderson at 47, or save some money and you go farther like Bobby Witt Jr. versus Skubal. If you think Skubal's off at 44, it's a great tournament play. Hyesung Kim at 42, good tournament plays. I still like Gunnar Henderson over both of them, but those are good tournament plays on this slate. 3K going down cheap here. CJ Abrams is $3,100. Love him, love him, love him. Can't say enough about CJ Abrams. Zach Neto's $2,800. B. Craw is 26 for the Giants. Casey Schmitz 25. So you got a couple pay-up spots and then a ton of value at shortstops. The middle infield, second base and shortstop, your main value spots so far. You found a few at first base like Tristan Casas and company, but your main value spots, second base and shortstop, and the outfield will have a million spots, but that's the usual. Going to the outfield, Acuna at 66 against Davies is a match made in heaven. Shohei Ohtani at 64, Betts, Tatis, Tucker's on fire, and Coors. I still go Acuna and Ohtani. Ohtani's home in 3 straight games now. Tucker would come in third for me there. You got Corbin Carroll, great tournament Arizona play against Elder at 59. So I like all of those. Going down a little cheaper now. You got JD Martinez at 51. He continues to just rake and kind of get overlooked on a lot of slates. Not all, just a lot. Jake Fraley at $4,900 for Disco is in play, and his price tag keeps going up. So eventually people will start getting off the Fraley train. I've always been Team Friedel for the savings, but Fraley hits cleanup. If you're stacking them up at 49, it's a great play. Going down below and farther into the 4K range, Cody Bellinger at 46 for Trevor Williams is a great play. I do like the Cubs on this slate, but Anthony Santander at 45, keep going there if you need to. Luke Raley at 45 for tournaments, maybe. I could see that being interesting. If you're fading Jomo, Jorge Soler's $4,500. That is definitely intriguing against Jomo. Jock Jams, $4,400 versus Weaver. I like that. TJ Friedel at 44 versus Disco. I like that even more. I love Friedel. Masataka Yoshida got on base, stole a bag. Another decent game at $4,300. Just brings a great floor with the ceiling to play. So I always like me some Yoshida. Michael Harris the second is only 4K versus Zach Davies. I'm on board with that. You got Stephen Kwan at 4K. Nolan Jones at 4K and Coors is solid as well. Austin Hayes had the day off on Monday. See if he's in the lineup on Tuesday. He's 38 versus Grove. We're on board there. Mickey Moniak at 37 is another good value. Jaron Duran's down to 36. He got a $300 decrease to face Medina today. So Duran at 36, I like a lot versus Medina, leading off and doing his thing. You got Jerkson Profar and Coors at 36 is cool. Conforto at 34 versus Weaver is awesome. That is a great price point for some basically Great American Small Park value. Going down farther in the 3K range here, Kerry Cano. It's getting a little murkier. Like James Outman, if you're stacking the Dodgers, sure. Otherwise, I'm not one-offing Outman, but stack, he's in play. 3Ks and in to the twos. You got Yastrzemski at 3K, another nice cheap Giants. The Giants are going to be much more. I wasn't really on them a ton on Monday because of the weather. It's supposed to be cleared up on Tuesday. This is going to get interesting now. Chris Taylor at 29 versus Wells. You got Corey Julks and Coors at 3K. That's a great value for some Coors action with Julks at 3K. Farther down to the 3K range now, though, our 2K range, Will Benson at 27 versus Disco. We love Will Benson. That's in a great matchup, great ballpark, great situation all around. Aaron Hicks is $2,500 against Grove. That's a good piece of a Baltimore stack value. Trent Grisham, if you are fading Manoah, Grisham's 24. He's swinging it really, really good. So I can get on board with that value as well. Excuse me. A few more pieces here before we wrap it up. Drew Waters, 22. If you're fading Scooble, I don't think you got to go there by any means. Oswaldo Cabrera at 21 versus Sandoval would be another punt, but not my favorites. I wouldn't go too much farther than probably Benson if you have to in the outfield. Recapping your pitching, my main guys: Musgrove, Giolito, Jomo, Woo, and then we got Cookie, Carrasco. I'll say Manoah too. So you got a lot of options on a 14-game slate, and that means we have a ton of bats though. Dodgers and the Orioles. Dodgers are always in play, but I love Baltimore versus Michael Grove. Keep going there. I got no problem with Cleveland versus Keller. If you want to be contrarian, people still think Keller's great, and he's pitched well, but I don't know what's going on. I'm concerned, honestly, with what's going on with his arm. So Cleveland could be a nice little contrarian angle there. You can go San Diego versus Manoah if you so choose. I don't want to argue that, but it's pretty much Baltimore, San Francisco versus Weaver, Cincinnati versus Disco. I love that whole game stack there. That's very, very nice. Arizona versus Elders, nice and contrarian, but Atlanta versus Davies is amazing. So you got that going for you. A few other ones, of course. The Washington Cubs game was interesting because Williams versus Tyon, nothing too crazy there. You can definitely attack that. But the Astros versus Davis in Coors is a money shot as well. And those will be my main ones. So you got Astros, who will be very popular. And then you got the Braves, you got the Giants and the Reds, you got the Orioles. Those are my main stacks on this 14-game slate. A lot can change. We'll see what happens. As lineups comes out, we'll get my cheat sheet as usual, all that fun stuff, and more about Game of the Edge Fantasy. That'll do it, folks. I'll return tomorrow to preview Wednesday's slate for you, but you guys have a good Tuesday. Good luck, everybody. This is MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Tuesday, July 18th edition. I'm out.